Hello everyone and welcome to Creative Life TV. I'm Linda Peterson. Thank you for joining me today. It is a gorgeous day here at my studio in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri, and I'm so excited that fall is finally here. I can enjoy my front porch again. I can enjoy my glass of iced tea in the evening, and you never know, maybe there's a cupcake or two out there waiting for me. Well, today's show is inspired by fall and pumpkins. Their shape, their color, their smell when they bake in the oven. That's what I love about fall. And so I'm going to start off the show with a cute little pumpkin cupcake topper. It's just a simple little touch, simple way and a fun way to add a decorative touch to your little cupcakes. Fall is also a great time of year to get together with your friends and family because of the cooler temperatures. You can enjoy the outside. And so we're going to head off into the studio, and I'm going to share with you a really simple idea to create a napkin ring, which will really dress up your tabletop and give it a little festive look. And then finally, I'm going to share with you and show you how to create a pumpkin photo holder from polymer clay. It's a great project, especially if you want to try your hand at polymer clay. It's a very easy and it adds a decorative touch. So we've got a lot to do. Are you ready to get your fall crafty on? Now, I'm not much of a sweet eater, but there are two things that you can bribe me with: cookies and cupcakes, and pumpkin bread. Okay, three. Well, I have just finished a batch of pumpkin bread cupcakes, and they smell so good. They're going to be so good. But I'm not finished. I'm going to share with you now how to make that cute little pumpkin cupcake topper to give it a little fun touch. For this project, you'll be using the Aleene's Tacky Double Stick Sheets. We're going to create some adhesive back paper. So take off the back liner and place the back side of your texture cardstock down onto the sheet. You're going to do this for each color that you'll be using for your cupcake topper. For this project, I have a yellow and I have a green. When you get finished, you have your adhesive back paper like this. Place your yellow adhesive back cardstock into your circle punch and give it a nice firm press. You will need to punch out two yellow shapes, one that has no adhesive and one with the adhesive back. You can also see here that I have cut out a couple of leaf shapes from my green adhesive back paper, and then a couple of stems from some brown paper. To create your final pumpkin shape, what I did here is I took a pair of scissors and I just cut a wavy line off the bottom and a little notch out of the top. And I'm going to match this up to the backing piece. I'm going to do the same thing. That way we have two shapes that are very similar. Cut the bottom off here. And of course, you will also apply chalk to your back shape as well. Now I'm going to remove the liner here. And since this one will be the front, we'll put our stem down upside down. I'll take a toothpick, match that up right in the center, and then place my backing right over it. Just like that. Press it down real good and firm. Now, to embellish this a little bit more, I'm going to take those leaves that I've made earlier, and remember we made these on the green self-adhesive paper. I'm just using the toothpicks to help me get the backing off there. You're just going to press that to the front. One to the other side. I've also made a little flower punch out of some of the leftover yellow that I had. I'm going to set that right in the front just to give it a little bit of embellishment. Oops. There we go. Just like that. And then finally, I'm going to add a little bit of glitter glue to the center of that flower. Let that dry, and you've got a really cute pumpkin cupcake topper. Simple, easy, and fun. That's what I love about that project. And here's another idea. Simply take a little ink pen and maybe write your favorite fall phrase. Maybe it's happy fall, or write a name on those cupcake toppers and use those as place cards. That's a lot of fun. Now you can get the recipe for the pumpkin bread cupcakes by signing up for the Almost Dailies. That's a members only bonus. So be sure to go to cooltocraft.com and sign up for the Almost Daily so you get that delicious recipe. Now fall is a great time of year to host parties and get together with friends, share a meal, share some laughs. And here's a fun way to add a festive touch to your fall festivities. So let me just show you how easy it is to just add a little something something, a little fall touch to maybe some of the things you already have laying around. So what I would do here is I would just cut off the end of this stem here that I don't need, and then simply hot glue it on the front, and I've got a really cute little centerpiece. I could also do the same thing to my pumpkin and just again hot glue it on, and then of course arrange these so that some of them lay flat and some of them stand up. And again, you've got a really cute idea for a centerpiece, especially if this is something that you kind of want to give a little lift to something you already have laying around the house. Okay, so now we're going to pull all the elements that we've worked and used with the centerpiece and the wagon. We're going to bring that all together and make a really fun, festive napkin ring holder. So what I'm doing here is I have cut the flower off of the bush of flowers, and I have hot glued a couple of leaves onto the back. I've also wrapped the stem with some floral tape. I took and I separated the different elements from one of those other bushes. I've cut a piece of wire. It's kind of a rope wrapped wire, a little piece off to make our napkin ring, and then I've cut a couple strips of the floral tape that we'll be using to put this all together. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our napkin ring. So I have cut, it's about 6 inches of that rope wrapped wire, and I'm just going to bend it so that it overlaps itself. And then I'm going to wrap it with some floral tape to secure this. So if you've not worked with floral tape before, it's super easy. It's super sticky, and it just kind of sticks to itself. So you just kind of stretch and wrap, and you'll probably want to use a shorter piece of floral tape rather than a super long piece so that you can put it through that hole there. Just like this. So once you've wrapped it a good 2 or 3 times, then you can just break that off and put that back down. So you should have a loop. Right, we'll set this to the side because we're going to go work on the main focal piece of our napkin ring then. Let me cut off another stem. Now, I have already pre-wrapped my floral stem, and what I did is I wrapped 2 of the pieces that I took off of the bush together. One, obviously, that comes off of one end, and one, the pumpkins that come off the other end. So we're going to secure this to our flower, and just kind of position that, and then wrap that together to secure that. So to make this and finish this off, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that over my pumpkins, and I'm going to then secure it with my floral tape Once again. This one's just a little bit more of a challenge because you want to make sure that you wrap it around the flower as well. And you'll probably want to put a couple extra layers of the floral tape around your napkin ring loop just to make sure that it's good and tight. Just like that. And of course you're going to insert your napkin through the loop, and then you'll arrange these into a real nice arrangement, and you'll have a beautiful decoration for your tabletop. That project has all the elements that I love all wrapped up into it. It is really cool. It is simple to make. It's elegant, and best of all those flower bunches are from the dollar store, so it's really, really affordable. Now, I love decorating with pumpkins. I love their color, I love their shape, I love their smell, I love all the yummy goodness that comes from pumpkins. So, what I want to do now is I want to share with you how to create your own pumpkin from polymer clay and turn it into this really cute little photo holder. So to create your little pumpkin place card holder or your photo frame, you're only going to need a few colors of clay. So you're going to need a large ball of orange. This ball is about 2 inches big. You'll need a little ball of green and a log of brown. We're going to be using the toothpick as a tool to create our little detail in the pumpkin and the leaf. And then right here I have a piece of coiled 18 gauge wire that we'll use to actually create the area for the photo frame. So let's set these other things here aside. And let me show you how to create the pumpkin. Obviously you're going to roll it into a ball like I have here, but you'll also notice that this ball is a little more, well, you can kind of see a faint triangle shape there, and that's because I've pushed it together here with my fingers to kind of bring it up a little bit more and create the pumpkin shape. Something like this. It doesn't have to be a perfect ball, it doesn't have to be a perfect oval to create your shape. Next, like you see I've done here, I've created some indentations with my toothpick. So you're just going to come from the bottom to the top around like this with your toothpick. And this just kind of creates some definition. It's looking a little bit more like a pumpkin. And then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to give it some fun little accents. Just here and there. So I'm just poking some holes with my toothpick. And create some little stitch marks here. So just go around the pumpkin and give it some nice little whimsical detail. You can do as much or as little as you like. And when you're finished, you're going to set your pumpkin aside. Now we're going to work on the leaf. And to begin the leaf, you're going to start with a ball. You can see a progression of shapes here that is a little bit larger than a pea. And when you flatten this ball just on one side with your finger, you create a point, or what I call a tapered log. Now we're going to press this flat, and you'll wind up with this shape like you see here. So it's kind of a flattened teardrop. So come back in with your toothpick here, and with the point of the toothpick, you're going to draw a little vein mark down the center, and then add the vein marks along the side. And you can refine this just a little bit. Sometimes you have to work a little and then refine it a little until you have your leaf shape like this. Next we're going to assemble our pumpkin, and so what I've done is I've created a little divot with my finger, and then this hole I made by poking my toothpick in and just kind of doing a little circular motion. It rounds out that hole a little bit so that you can just press your stem down into that hole, and that acts to connect your stem with your pumpkin. Now we're going to follow that with the leaf. Press that down. You might want to make this look a little bit more natural just by refining that leaf shape there. And now we're going to poke in our wire shape. So this is ready to go into the oven for about 30 minutes, and you're going to bake this according to your manufacturer's baking instructions. Now that your pumpkin is baked and it is completely cool, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of just plain acrylic brown paint to the surface, and this, you know, makes it a little more realistic. It also gets into those cracks, and it kind of highlights all of the detail work that you put into it, because let's face it, if you can't see the detail, then why go to all that trouble, right? So completely cover your pumpkin in brown paint like this. Make sure, I'm using a makeup sponge, but you can use a paintbrush too. Make sure that you get it into all those little nooks and crannies, and you are going to get your fingers a little messy. Now when this is finished, you can put a sealer on that, and I've got a really good tip for the sealer. If you will check out the project instructions, you can download those from the website at lindapetersondesigns.com or cooltocraft.com. So make sure you do that, because it is a really inexpensive tip for putting a nice little sheen onto any of your polymer clay. It could be jewelry, and anytime you use polymer clay. Now, just before it dries, then you're going to go over and kind of wipe away the excess. And if you want it a little dirty, that's fine. You don't have to wipe it off. It's your choice. Now you can see we've got it all highlighted. So if you miss any areas, you can go back over them, and you can do that as many times as you need. And then your last step would just be to go ahead and insert your little piece of wire here that I've coiled. This is a 20 or an 18 or 20 gauge wire that I've just put in a coil. So you're going to insert that and add your picture. You can get that extra special little sealer tip by visiting us on the websites at lindapetersonlive.com and cooltocraft.com. When you download those instructions, you'll have the tip. Well, let me do a quick wrap up of the projects that I shared with you on today's show. First, we did cupcake toppers inspired by delicious pumpkin bread cupcakes. Next, we created a festive tabletop decor with these gorgeous napkin rings featuring little pumpkin accents. And finally, we used polymer clay to create our very own pumpkin photo holders. So before I say my final goodbye, I would like to remind you to visit us on Facebook and like our pages at Linda Peterson Live and Cool to Craft. Also visit our websites. There you can sign up for our newsletters so that you get all of the project instructions that are featured on all of our shows. We don't want you to miss a thing. A big thank you to you, our viewers, for watching us. And I hope you all have a very happy fall. And remember, keep living the creative life. I'll see you again real soon.
Hi, I'm Kim from Spellbinders, and we're at CHA in Chicago, and I want to show you the latest, coolest dies from Spellbinders. These are edgeabilities. They're great for making borders, making strips. They mix and match. They're incremented to work together. Let me just show you how to use them so you can really get it, all right? I'm going to simply take one of these edgers in the set, and we also have decorative elements. Each set comes with an edger and 2 decorative elements. I've actually picked the little rickrack. Let me show you really quickly here. I'm going to just simply tape it on to the paper. I'm going to run it through the machine and show you how quick and easy we can make a quick border for a card. Put my cutting mat on top, run it through. Here's a little tip with the grand caliber. I'm just going to run it through a few inches, and I'm going to back it back out. No need to run it all the way through when you just got a little bit of die cut area. Take that off. Oops. All right, I'm going to run it through and emboss it. Put my embossing pad on top. Embossing plate. Run it through again. There, and back it out. Quick and easy. I'm going to pull that tape off. Here's your decorative edge. There's your inset, and look at all the embossed detail. That's what Spellbinders is known for. And of course you can always stencil through those dies too, which is even cooler. I'm going to real quickly run through some felt because I love felt and it's so much fun to cut with Spellbinders dies. All right? You can tell that I've already put the dies on. I've just taped them on so I can have a little perfect placement there. I'm going to run it through. Again, I'm just going to run it through a few inches because I really don't need to go through the whole thing. And back it out. Pull those dies off. Oops, let me snip it. I had the felt was just a little bit long for the die. And look at that beautiful cut detail. I can just pop all of those little cutouts out. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm going to really quickly cut another flower too because I love flowers. They're so much fun and they're so trendy. This is the Blossoms 2 spiral flower. Put a little bit of wool felt. I love wool felt. It works really easy in the machine. I'm going to run it through. The grand caliber is so easy. There's really no pressure as you're turning the handle. Super easy to use. Just pull all that off. And look, here's your flower. I'm going to simply get some glue and start to curl and turn this around, and I'm going to start to make a flower. Here I've got one that I've already got glued, you can see. I'm just going to continue to go around till I get to the end. And here I have a little base, so I'm going to twirl that around. I'm just going to put it on that base, and it's all good to go. Quick and easy. Put it in your hair, put it on a card, make a pin, put it on a magnet. They're so much fun. Thanks for coming by.